So let's do another bodyfulness practice. Turning the focus of our attention to the feeling state of the body. On the inhalation, expanding in 360 degrees around the hips. And on the exhalation, relaxing into that space. The reason I bring you down into the hips is to be a counterbalance to the mental space and the mental activity. Science is showing us that we have 3 brains. The one in our head, the one in our heart, and the one in our gut. And these 3 brains are all essential for our thriving. I naturally spend a lot of time in my head. I intentionally spend a lot of time in my heart, relating. I really need to work to bring myself into my hips, where creativity, there's so much happening in the first and second chakra. The first, second, and third. Our species level information, our tribal level information, and our individual level information. And as we spend time there, we become more acquainted with the knowledge of these 3 very important aspects of human life. And I find that when I do that, when I then move up into my heart, into that relating brain, I am doing it from a grounded, authentic expression of a self that I have some familiarity with. That has improved my ability to express and relate through my heart. So very often, I will bring you down into your hips to do the expansion. There's another aspect about this expansion in the hips and relaxing into that container. And that has to do with relaxation and safety. Because we can only be relaxed if we feel safe. And creating a space for ourselves to relax into can be profoundly helpful in this bodyfulness practice. We begin to be able to receive the sensory information more distinctly as we relax. And before we move on to the next segment, and while we are still focusing our attention on the feeling state of the body, I'd like to acknowledge that we're made of 50 trillion cells. And these cells are all working in concert. But these cells also have a very special capacity. And that capacity, it is good for us to acknowledge and mimic. That capacity is semi-permeability. And what it means is it has an edge that keeps it uniquely itself. But it knows how to open to receive nutrients. And it knows how to close to not receive toxins. And it knows how to open to eliminate waste. But it knows when not to open to retain its most important capacities. Every cell in your being experiences this action many times every second. We, as individuals, can develop this capacity to receive what nourishes us, to not receive what's toxic to us, to eliminate what we no longer need without fear of eliminating something we cherish. This capacity develops in us naturally as we accept our body as our teacher and listen to its felt sense. This capacity also changes our lives.